would I say good morning or good midnight or whatever? It's a whole lot of effort for me to do this video, and for what I believe in, and for what I want all of us to learn from. I have to shoot this video for your benefit and for you to go through over and over and to learn. They say that the quitters never win, and the winners, they never quit. When it comes to Forex, there have been a lot of things that people have said about how difficult it is and how, like a fruitless exercise that one can embark on. But really, it is not fruitless. It is something that is fruitful, but you really have to dig deep to understand what it's all about before you begin to win. And when you don't see anything and you plunge into the market, that's when it's disastrous. You have to see, and it is difficult to see. That is just the truth about it. But once you begin to see, then you see, what it's all about and how to approach the market, and without burning your fingers. Really, there's a whole lot to learn. Like I said, the quitters, they never win, and the winners, they never quit. I'm going to be giving you an in-depth analysis of Euro USD and maybe 2 or 3 yen pairs. Why I picked Euro USD, it's because they're the same as BXY and maybe the opposite of the BXY. So whatever you learn today on the DXY and on the Euro USD, you can actually switch to DXY to actually replicate that inversely. That's why I chose Euro. It is very, very difficult for many people to understand the wave and structure, and the secret to this is once you're able to see and understand what the structure looks like and what is unfolding on the higher time frame, it becomes easy for you to actually see what the market is doing. And when you're able to see that, then you will know how to approach the market and tell yourself, if the market does not do this, I'm not going to engage the market. If the market fails at this level, then something else is happening, and which you must have thought. So it's a trade-off. Okay, if this does not happen, maybe it has to be this. Then you look at different possibilities before you approach the market, and you tell yourself, according to what you know in terms of structure, the wave study, and price action and all of that. So if it does not come together, then you don't want to trade. But let me just tell you this. Yes, there are indicators, there are a whole lot of things that people can say about look for the strengths, look for volatility index, look for so many things that about the dollar, about this, about yen, and about that, and the what they call it also, the this currency indices, yes, like Japanese yen, which I taught us or I showed us the last time. A whole lot has been said about all these things. There is no panic anywhere. What you can do is you devote your time just to manage and to understand the structure of a pair, and you understand it perfectly. You can actually measure on just one pair, not looking for many pairs to trade, and you will begin to reap and eat and make money just from one pair. The only reason why we want to look for like few more pairs is, when the structure of one is just not coming out clearly to us, and we want to just leave it and allow more structure to form so that we can understand what the pair is doing before we say, okay, we want to plunge into it. So that is allowed, because you have to allow more structures to unfold when it's easy and very complex, just to allow more structures so that we can read what is happening. That is allowed. Now, today's training is very, very important in the life of everybody that is hearing my voice this early morning to profit. You have to go over and over and over and over. If you understand and you're able to count the structure, the wave count properly on the higher time frame, then you break it down to the lower time frame, you become a master, no matter what. See, whatever the news that is going on in the world, whatever it is that the sentiment that is going on, the structure will always win. The structure will always win. So I'm going to be showing us secrets and why I'm not always, about, okay, this wave is going to end, or it's not going to end, or it's about ending and all of that. So I'm going to be giving us some tips that would really help us. Without much ado, let's look at it. The corrective wave, ABC. We said the corrective wave are ABC, and the first one, it's a zigzag, which you can see here on my screen. You can see that well on my screen. I want to do something to help us. Now, the zigzag is the first one on my screen. Now, we said that in the zigzag, once we have wave A and wave B, retracement of wave B in a zigzag is 50% of A, 61.8, 76.4, or 80, 5.4. You just have to pay attention to wave B, because when wave A is coming, there are things that you have to see to, okay, we are in a corrective wave. They have a structure, a skeleton that tell us that this wave is correcting. So you must be able to know that, oh, this is a correction. In the higher time frame, it might not appear so at first, but with time and with practice, you will know that this is a correction that we are in. And you must pay attention to wave B always. So in a zigzag of wave B is between 50.0% to 85.4. And you have to pay attention also to wave C, is an extension of AB extension, which in zigzag is either 61.800 or 123.6. That's the corrective, of the zigzag. Now we have to look next into the flats. The flats are 3, as you can see here. The flats are 3. They are the regular, the expanded, and the running. Always pay attention to wave B of a correction. Pay attention to wave B, because wave B of a correction is the key to unlock your wealth in any time frame. Now, in a regular flat, you have the A, which is wave A in a regular flat, but wave B is just 90% retracement of A. Wave B is 90% retracement of A in a regular flat, and C is 61.8, 100.0, or 123.6. The way you have it on where here in the zigzag is the same as the zigzag, but the zigzag is just 50.02, 5.4, while in regular flat, wave B is just 90. Now, expanded flat, pay attention, you have to go through these, pay attention in expanded flat. So what we have, when you have wave A, wave B is just 123.6 extension of A. So pay attention to wave B. But in wave C, it's the only one that is doing 123.6 to 161.8 of AB. So in an expanded flat, you can see the wave extending, C extending between 123.6 to 161.8. It does not go beyond 161.8. If you see in a corrective wave pattern and with the third wave is running beyond, or any wave at all is running beyond 161.8, just know that it's an impulsive Elliott that you are doing. That is wave 3. Got to be wave 3 that you are onto. It got to be wave 3. Just know that and have that at the back of your mind. Wave B never runs beyond 123.6. Yes. Wave 3 would never run beyond 123.6 in any correction. But wave C is the only one that can run between 123.6 to 161.8 in an expanded flat alone. Now, the last one of the flat correction is the running flat. Pay attention to it. The running flat we have with A and with B is 123.6 extension, just like in an expanded flat. The same extension of A, but here in wave C, in a running flat, it's either 61.8 or 100.0, in a running flat. So when you see a correction of a flat that has given you with B of 123.6 of A, then wave C, what it's going to do, you don't know until it's completed. So because wave C can be either, that wave can be either a running or an expanded flat until probably if it corrects and it stops at 61.8 or 100.0. So if it breaches or breaks or violates 100.0, that C wave, then you begin to tell yourself, this wave is likely to be an expanded flat or wave 3. That is what you are thinking. It's likely to be an expanded. Once 100.0 is violated in that correction, and will be at giving you 123.6, you now begin to tell yourself, is that we are dealing with what wave C of an expanded flat, or is going to be wave 3 of an Elliott. Now, let's look at some things on the Elliott. So on the Elliott wave 3 of the Elliott is a fib extension of 1 and 2 at 161.8. You must have this at the back of your mind. And these are the key to unlock your wealth. 161.8, 200, or 261.8, or 323.6. These are very important. Then wave 5, which is the last wave, is an extension of 4 of 125.0 to 161.8, all that is equal to wave 1. So wave 5 is an extension of 4, 125.0 to 161.8, or equal to 1. Now, with these, let's now begin to dig into what we have. Now, this is Euro-USD, and this is a monthly time frame of Euro-USD that we have. And let me quickly do this. Now, to look at this wave, what are we seeing? What happened before this wave, we don't know. But it could have been a correction of whatever. But then, or it could be part of correction that we are seeing with this wave that have gone down as an Elliott. But now, lately, we have this moving up, which is an Elliott wave, as we look at it. Then we'll see a move down and we'll see a correction. After this move down, we'll see a correction, which is A, B, and C. Then after this, also began another move. After this correction, which is a correction, a move down, We now have A, B, and C. Then we now have this move, which is like a movement in itself down here. Then after this move, we now have another correction. So we are paying attention here. After this move, the whole of this move, like we just told us that a move A, B, and C, and we now have what looks like an Elliott here down to this place. Then we now have another move like this. After this move, we have A, B, and C. Now, after this small correction of of this move, which is A, B, and C, we now have another move. Now, after this move, we now have another corrective move, which now looks like A, B, and C. And that is where we are at the moment. I'm going to be labeling this. I'm just telling us how to label. So after this move, then this will be A wave. And we said the next one will be a B wave. This is Euro USD, the monthly time frame. I want us to see something. And this, the next one will be a C wave. And we are currently on the C wave. And where is our C wave is going to end, we need to really understand this. And this structure we hold at the end of the day, it will hold. And nothing is going to change that. Nothing is going to change that. So that's the beginning of that wave, A. So you can see that's the beginning of wave A. And we take this to the end of wave B or of wave A in the ABC correction. This is a monthly time frame. So this is wave A ends here. Now wave B is giving up. It never ran close to this line. So let's see where wave B terminates now. Okay. My network is now misbehaving. Just start giving some marks. See now it's not just giving me what I want. Okay, let's see if it's gonna go now. Okay, so it's gonna go now. So this is, you have to do a pinpoint measurement. That is where B is. So before I drag this thing down, I will drag it down later. Now let's pick our, then this, I just want to do this. Let me just put this to the origin of the first wave here, which is not part of our collection. Let me use this just to mark that, so that we'll see what is going to happen at the end of the day. Now, just continue to watch. Just how to understand this. So we can see that actually this one lays appropriately. This one nearly touches. You have to make sure that it touches just where the wave barely touches. Okay, and this also barely. So I'm going to expand for us to see what I'm doing. Now this also barely touched that. So let's take it to the, yeah, so it's there now. So this is A and B. So C is not completed. We are on C. Now let's take our fee retracement or tools. We're going to put this one down. From here, we are going up because A came from up down, top down. So to retrace B, we are going to go this way because wave B is going up. So we are going to start from the origin of A which is that place, take it to the end of A to get the retracement of B. And so C, the retracement of B, this is 90. The retracement of B had given us a 90. So that tells you it's a what? It's a regular flat that it had given us. So B had given us this to be a 90. So it has given us B to be a 90. So we are sure of our A, that our A is going to be here on an higher time frame. Just watch closely so we can drag this down, that B is actually here. Now, because this is a 90, C, it's either going to be in a regular flat, it's either going to be just like zigzag, it's going to be 61.8 or 100 or 123. And that is how we're going to engage it. Now, so what are we going to have in terms of extension of AB to get C? So we pick our extension tools. We start from the origin of A. We go to the end of B, of A. Then we now come to the end of C. Now, after we have done this, we are looking at what the likely point that with B and with C is going to end. Now, the first one is 61.8. So we want to pick 61.8. I'm going to use this to represent it. Now, 61.8 is here, where my finger is. Now, 61.8 has been violated, so price didn't return there. So that is why, you know, when we give an entry at times, or we try to say, okay, maybe 61.8 or whatever. So price violated that. And counting instance structures, of course, may help also to know if it's going to be violated or not. So price violated that. So we are going to an 100. 100 is where you have this 1. So now we're asking ourselves, would this thing stop at 100 and not beyond 100? So this is an 100 for you. Now, that is where an 100 is. Now, the 123, which is the last place that the price can be. So the price is almost here. So for all those who are thinking of, okay, the price, you know, the way we've been approaching this in the past is, oh, this thing is going to, this is the end of A, so price will just be here and just, you know, respect this, we call it support. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. So where 123 is going to be is next down. I'm going to zoom. So now, this is 123. You can see the color of 123 here. So is the first color here. So I'm going to take 123 out. Let me just clone from here. Now, 123 is coming right here. Now, so that is 123. So, and because it's 123, that's the last place I expect price. So it's more ticking. So which means that if you are thinking that the price will not break this level, you might be deceiving yourself that the price is not going to break this level. The price may likely break this level because you thought, oh, there are clusters of what? Of supports here. The price does not see that, and it won't see that. So now we take this. This is likely to going to be the last place here, just below here on the. So that's the last place that price, you know, usually where you think the price will not violate according to your analysis, you have to put like between 20 to 30 pips stop loss. That is how to do it. So let me make this one tick. So That is my structure. This is 123, this is 100, this is 61.3 that has been violated on Euro USD. So let me take it back. Let me take it back. Now we now begin to look at the internal structure of this one. Internal structure of this one. So before we look at the internal structure of this one, I will tell you that this is a wave. And this wave here is the first wave of B. And this is wave 2. You have to look at that. So this is wave 3. And in the wave 3 is still unfolding. I can't see anything that tells me that we've done wave 4 here. I can't see anything that tells me that we have done wave 4. I can see wave 2. This is like wave 2 on the monthly time frame. This is wave 2 on the monthly time frame. I can't see wave 4. Whatever you see in the middle here on the monthly time frame is the internal architecture of what? Of wave 3. This is internal architecture of wave 3. So I may have to now do this. Just watch me. And let me change this to purple, because now we are going down into the internal architecture, and we say this is what? Wave 1. And we are now saying that this is wave 2. Now, that is what we are saying. Would it agree with fib analysis or retracement? Would it agree? Now, this is not part of it. This is just with B that finishes. Forget this thing here. You can't use it. Now, this is what we can use. This is wave 1 and wave 2 here in the bigger time frame. Does it agree with fib retracement analysis from the origin of the first wave to the end of this wave here? This is exactly 85.4. So it agrees with it. So this is wave 2, exactly 85.4. So we can tell ourselves that this is wave 1, and we can tell ourselves that this, the other one is wave 2. The other one is wave 2. This is going to change your life. Potentially going to change your life. This is wave 2. Now, wave 1 is done. This is wave 2. And it is going to be an ABC correction. If you take it as ABC correction, when you are saying this and say, okay, this is the first wave, because you tell yourself, oh, this wave had gone up, and this is the first wave of the correction, and you think this is the second wave of the correction, which will look like a zigzag to you, because this had come down, and zigzag with 2 of zigzag can still do 85.6, and but then it will stop at what? At most 123. So is it a zigzag? See, let's see. It is a zigzag. I'm teaching us something. That's the way to look at it. So from the origin of 1, from the origin of 4 to the end of 1, 2, where 2. So which is if it's your zigzag would have stalled around this place, which is 103. Let me use something to demarcate where it would have stalled. Your zigzag would have stalled at 123, which is here. So this is not a zigzag. Okay, so we have seen that this is not a zigzag because the wave is breaking down. So it's not a zigzag, and it's not a corrective wave anymore. This is an Elliott wave that is coming down, but in an ABC correction on a bigger time frame. So that's what we are looking at now. So this is a zigzag. Now, if this is a wave 1 and wave 2 on the bigger time frame, and this one looks like a corrective wave pattern of in a bigger time frame for 2, and it equals to 85.4, which is good. Now, this wave is wave 3. I've not seen anything. Wave 4 correction might look like this. and I've not seen anything here. And all these ones can be with 2 of 3, and this can be with 4 of 3. And this might just be with 5 of 3. But then we have to do something again, okay? What we have to do is to see what are the likely level we need with 3 to extend. Like I told us, it can be 161.8, it can be 200, it can be 261.8, and it can be 323.6. So now let's take it out. Within that wave 3, so we take this from wave 1, origin of wave 1, to that of end of wave 1, and to the end of wave 2. Now, what are those levels? This is 161. This wave had not expired at 161. So this is 161 here. The wave is still moving. Now, this is 200 here. The wave is still moving. So for me, seeing that I didn't see any major correction on the higher time frame at those level of 161.8 or 200, that means this wave 3 has not ended. Now, the next place it can go is here, which is 261.8, which the price, so this is the level I should be expecting a reaction. Now, let me now switch that back to my thing. Now we are projecting that this is the level I will be expecting a reaction for this correction that is coming on with 3. So apparently, the old fib extension, when it comes to correction of ABC, this is where 100 is, and the price of where I expect with 3 to terminate is very close to it. Now, are we going to have a push up here in daily? Is it that this wave we want to finish with 3 here at 200, 261.8, or we'll still go to 323.6? Would that happen? Now, we are going to look at the internal structure of this to also project where it's going to be, which means that if wave 3 is going to end here at 261.8, it means that this must be wave 5 of 3 that is going on. Not until we now switch to maybe weekly time frame, we might not see that. But then, if this is wave 2, I expect this of wave 4 somewhere around here, which I'm not seeing. That's what I'm telling myself. And with 3, didn't stall here, it didn't stall here. This is the next place I'm expecting it. If a 4-hour candle violates this, then I know that then we are going to what? 3 to 2. So now the next level, let me now zoom. Now, this is the next level here that we may expect, or the last level we may expect this to be is here, which is 223.6, which is here. So that is the last level I will expect wave 3 to end. So in that case, wave 3 may have broken, will have to break 100 pip extension. And if that happens, I don't expect also the whole correction to exceed 123 of these flats, regular flat, which is still down. Let's go there. So, and if wave 3 stall here, we are telling ourselves this is where everything will stop in the end. We may say this might be too small for wave 5 of the old move. So we may think that it might be too small. So it may look, as we are looking at this now, that maybe it's going to, wave 2, wave 3 will stall here to allow for 4 correction, and wave 5 to now do this. To make this one a B, and a C, which is a regular flat, to extend at what? 123.6 here of this ABC. Now, we are going inside of this wave now after doing this. So our pink is for the internal structure now of this wave, and where 261 of C of 3 is likely going to be. Now, if we now switch to the lower time frame, which is this, looking at the lower time frame now, which is this, we have told ourselves this is wave 1. Now, in wave 1, of course, this one looks like an ending diagonal to me. The structure you are seeing here looks like an ending. That's the way it looks actually. The ending diagonal would look like that. That's the way it looks. If you go to the lower time frame, you will see it better. That's the way it looks. So, and this is the 5-wave structure from here. So you can see, if you count it, you will see it like that. 1 is the 5-wave structure. From here, this is wave 1 here, ends at this level, and 2 of 1 ends here at this level. This is the last 2 of 1 here. You can see this red candle here. That's the last 2, and this is the wave 1, the origin, the end, and the origin of 2, the end of 2 is here. Then we have 3, which ends here, and we have 4 of 1 here, and the 5 of 1, which is an ending diagonal. So this is the 5 of 1, and it ends here. So now have 2 to correct like that. So, but in internal architecture, when you want to see this correction per se of 2, it's really unfolding why 1 is going on. That's just the thing. It's unfolding why 1 is going on, and you now have this. Now, this now is the beginning of 3, wave 3. So wave 3 start from here, and wave 3 of 1, let me now begin to use black for the internal structure of wave 3. So using black for the internal structure of wave 3, that is where wave 3 of 1 is, and wave 3 of 2 now ends here. That wave 3 of 2 will end in that place. Okay, so if you are going to really understand this, okay, okay. Now let me explain this again. This is wave 1, which is 5-wave structure, and this is wave 2 at ended here. Wave 3 start here. So wave 3-1 is also a 5 structure. Wave 3-1 is also a 5 structure, which ends here. This is an ending diagonal here also for this wave. This is an ending diagonal. The way it is an ending diagonal is also an ending diagonal here. So wave 3 of 1, 3-1. So that 3-1 will be 5 waves, and this is the 2 of it, and the 3, and this is 1. The 2 of it ended here. So, and the 3, the 4, and the 5 before this last correction here. So this is 3 of 1, and here in the middle is 2 of 3. This is 2 of 3 here in the middle here. So if I put this one as 3 of 1, put this one as 3 of 1 that ended here. So, and 3 of 2 is here. This is weekly time frame. This is 3 of 2 that is here. So 3 of 2 that is here now. We are inside the 3, the 3rd wave now. So this is 1, 3 of 1, and this is where the two of it, of one ended. Now from here to here, we are inside the 3 of 3. 3 of 3 also is going to be 5 wave. 1 is 5 wave, but 3 of 3 is the longest and it's going to be 5 wave. Have we ended it or not? So if this is the first part of it, and this is 3 of 3, 2 of 3 of 3. This is 3 of 1, which is 5 wave. I can't be counting inside structure of this one, which is 5 wave. And this also is a 3 wave. If you look at it, it's going to be a 3 wave. But this one now, this is 2 of 3 of 3. And this is like 3 of 3 of 3. And this is like 4 of 3 of 3. And this is going to be like the 5th wave of 3 of 3. So which we can say maybe the 3 of 3 will end here at this purple that I told us, which is 261.8. So we are projecting now. So let me quickly you have to watch this video over and over to understand what I'm trying to do. 3 of 3. So we are inside of the 3 of 3. So, and we said that the 3 of the 3 looks to have ended in this place, around this place. I'm using black. I'm using black. Said that may have ended. The 3 of 3 may have ended here. Which looks okay, because once you look at it here, you may say truly it ended on 61 of extension, because this also looks like what an ending diagonal in a way. Before we now have 4. With 4, if you do the fib analysis, retracement is going to play out like that. Now, so this is 3 of 4 on the internal. It's 3 of 4. You can watch this video and your life will still be the same. You cannot watch it and your life will still be the same. You have to see things better. Now, this is where 3 started from here. And we say this is where, 2 of 3 ended. But in the internal structure of the 3 itself, you can say the 3 itself, it's going all this way down. Now, do we see that this one equals 38 or 50 in terms of the field? Does it agree from 2? 3 of 2. Let's look at it. This is where 2 started from. Down to 3. So you can see it's between 38 and 50, which actually agrees with 4. It agrees perfectly with 4. It agrees with 4. If you put it at 3 of 2, it's almost at 50. Or if you put it at here, it agrees with 4. Anyhow you look at it, this agrees with 4. Now, if this one agrees with 4, then it means that the entire run from here is the first correction, which is A. And after 3 ended here, the entire cost is A here, and which is a B wave down, and this is a C wave. So if this is a C wave, it shows that we are on the last leg of wave 3, which is 3-5. And 3-5 also is going to run 5-wave structure. 5-wave structure. So what I'm looking at is not looking like an ending diagonal yet. Because it's not looking like an ending diagonal, 2 possibilities here. Are we going to have this one come up like this? Are we going to really have it go down to touch here? So this is a place you should be looking for the beginning of wave 4 on the bigger time frame at 1.05614. This is the level you will be looking for with 4 on the bigger time frame. So, but now, looking at the internal structure of this one, we said this one is 3, and this one is, we also know that wave 5 is that it's equal to 361.161.8 extension of 3 to 4 of this wave. And let's see what that is going to give us. Or that is equal to 1. If it's equal to 1, definitely. If it's equal to 1, but we are inside of 3 now. So if it's inside of 3, because we are doing 3, we are not going to compare it with this, except the entire 5. I'm going to go to look at this one. So if we're inside of this one, if it's going to be equal to 1, because 1 of 3 starts from here and ended somewhere here. So if we drag this one down for 3 and we put it here at 4, so that may have overrun it a bit. And if we pick a fib 3 to 4, 161.8, everything we are doing can have a little extension because we are doing many time correction now. So that's why it can be a bit. So when you look at the higher time frame, so if you do like this, it's even almost equal to this with. So looking at this, since these had been violated to me, and this is how we look at it, since these had been violated, it means that we may be going down without correcting much here. We may be going down without correcting much to finish with 5. That's a little extension here. So of with 5. That is the way it's looking like to me. Now, if we now go down on the lower time frame to look at this, what we have done, this is where probability comes into play. This is where probability comes into play, that you understand what we are doing. This is the entire wave that I've been showing you now. This is daily time frame. Now, this is the daily time frame. Everything is working out fine so far. And we said wave 1 is here. These are wave 1, which is 5-wave structure. You can see clearly that this is where 5-wave structure. Wave 2 actually ends here for this 1 itself, not the entire 2. So you have to understand at times, because you won't understand why this one will go and this one will come and violate this area. It is allowed, it's part of it, because wave 1 ran down. And if you look at the fifth restriction of wave 1 of 1, so this is where 1 of 1 ended and the 2 of 1. If you take your field retracement tools, it's going to work out like that from here to here. This is here. Watch this area. That's where I put it. Then look for this one. Watch field extension. Exactly at 76.4. So which is correct. 76.4, which is correct for these as wave 1, and this is internal structure of 1. These are also as ended in an ending diagonal here for the 5 of it, 5 of 1. Funny, Eric. Funny. This is 1, this is 2, this is 2 of it, and this is like 3 of it, this is 4 of 1, and this is 5 of 1. Before we now have a correction of what? Of this entire structure of 2 here, which is 1, 2, and 3. And if you want to now begin to dig into this and see what kind of structure you have here, this may look like a zigzag correction here for this wave 2 here. And this is A, and this is B, and a C, because it has run, ahead. B didn't get to A makes it look more like what a zigzag here. Most likely it might be a zigzag. I don't want to waste my time doing all of this, which you can do yourself, uh, in terms of retracement in that place. Yes, this is like here, this is like 76. So that's a zigzag. So because it's a zigzag, this is going to be like an 100 if you AB extension here for 2. Now after this 2, we now started with 3 here. So this is with 3 instances of with 3 of 1. So with 3 and 2 of it and 4 of it and 5 of it to now end it in an ending diagonal also here. So that beautifully completes with 1, and we now have a correction or a corrective pattern like this up again. To understand, we have a corrective pattern like this up again for this one after the end of 1 here. So which is 85.2. Yes, is it 85? Yeah, 85.4 for the entire run to finish with 2 here. So when you see this on the day time frame, it helps you to see how the correction eventually is going to look like for this one to have a run up like this, how it's going to look like, you know, for us to have a 2 here. And after this, a 2 in the internal structure of 3 of 1 also is a 5-way structure. So you can see 1 like this, and a 2 of it, and a 3 of it, and a 4 of it, and the ending diagonal of a 5 of it. And we now have this corrective pattern. This is 1, A, B, and C. And after that, A, B, and C, we now begin to do. So this end what with 3 of 2 and with 3 of 3 started here. So if you look at this one, you have to follow me. Look at this one. We have also this, which is 3 of 1, a 5-way structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5-way structure, and the correction, which is 2 of 3 of 3. 3 of 3, 1, 3 of 3, 2, then 3 of 3, 3, and this looks like 3 of 3, which is 4, and after 3 of 3, which is 4, which is what you are saying now, and you now have 4 of these, and we now say this, it looks like we are doing 3 of 5, we are finishing 3 of 5. We are finished because I can't see ending diagonal here for 3. So we should see the ending diagonal that will now confirm the ending diagonal. It's like a bevel like this. You can always see it. This is an ending diagonal. You can see it. This is one here also. An ending diagonal. You can see this. This is what they look like. Ending diagonal will always look like this. Also, when it's going up, this is an ending diagonal. This is the way it curves like a C, you know, like a inverted C here, and like the way it is like here also. So those are ending diagonal. So we have not seen anything like that. Not until we see it, we won't say that, okay, we are at the end of this 3-5. So once we see 3-5 off, we are going to see a leg that is going to run up to finish 4. So this may be 4 in the making, because that is the way it will be forming along. You know, it may be 4, entire 4 in the making. So the last leg of 4 that will come, it will be when this one completes itself to say, okay, I finish with 5 in an ending diagonal fashion, and a 4 may just run to break structure above, and they will now start with 5 proper. With 5 proper will now start from there. So that's how to look at. We are still inside of this. Now, if you look at this, the structure, the correction here, you know, this is where it gets very tricky for anybody that wants to trade. This thing may have gone for how many days? Let me quickly switch to week. That would help us to know for how long it went. That correction in this is a wicked correction that you see. Oh, one of that. Oh my shini. This is one week. This is one week. Before we have this move, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. 2 months. You now have this. How are you going to read this on a lower time frame? How are you going to read it? So on the bigger time frame, to me, it looks like this is A, and this is B, and this is C. When you look at it on a bigger time frame, it helps you better so that you won't be burning your finger. So for me, on a bigger time frame, I will say this is A wave. That's A wave. A wave here. And we have a C, a B, which is down, a B. And you see how much time I'm spending on this one alone. A B is down here, where you have your 3, where it ended, 3 or 3. A B is down there, and a C is the last wave up there on that corrective pattern, a C. Then you can do your own feed analysis to see where that C ended. Okay, now if we want to look at it from here, origin of A to this and what B did, it will be easy for us to pick from here, that's A to the end of A, just here, watch this place, to what B did. B came here at 123. So it came at 123. So where you have the black line came at 123. So, and going back up tells you this is a running flat. You know, C gave you a running flat because it's the one will be in the middle, and this is 100. 123 would have gone up. So it's a running flat correction that you have in the middle here for this 4-3-4 wave. 3 or 4 wave is a running flat in the middle. So how would you have seen that? How would you have seen that this is a running flat? Where it is, okay, it's here. It's here, not this one, so it's here. How would you have seen that it's a running flat? Very difficult. This one went for 2 months. And this is where people will waste money. You are impatient and all of that. And when it's now finishing the last leg of it, they just threw one down, bam. To say, okay, I'm finishing with B, and wave C went up, and from wave C, they began the internal structure of what? Of the last leg of 3, which is 3 or 5. And that is what we are doing at the moment. So this is the last leg, which is C. From here to here is A, because ending diagonal of that wave 3 or 3 really here, but when it finishes correction, that is where you say, okay, yes, 3 or 3 has ended. Technically, it's here, but for correction, they will finish you. They will bring it down by how many pips? You must also know this, that it is not a pinpoint measurement when it comes to coming. So that's like a 60 or 62 pips to extend to finish this one, to say, okay, we are finishing correction, and they throw it up. So you have to wait for B to get C, and C came here, and they now started the internal structure of the last leg of 5 or 3 or 5. So 3 or 5 is what we are seeing at the end of the day. So now this may now start 1 of it and 2 of 3 or 5. 2 of 3 or 5. Is this 3 of 3 of 3 or 5? And are we doing 4 of the 3 or 5? So if we are on 4 of the 3 or 5, just like the way you add this correction for 2 months, this may be A and this may be B. This may be A and this may be B. So in that case, if that is what it looks like to me, that is how to help yourself. For me, I would treat this as A here, and because I'm inside of this one now, let me change the color because I want to get that clear. So if that is A here, and this is, if this is what I can do here alone in the middle of this night, it's good. And this is A here. Now, how do I want to approach this? I want to approach this as, if this is B, it should not extend beyond what? Beyond 123.6. That's the way I will approach it. So, and I will tell myself, if I pick this extension 2 from A, origin to B, to the end of A, beginning of B, A to the end of A, so my 123 is actually going to be below here. That is where I want to make entry here. So with these, when you wait, you can quietly wait and wait for as long as possible, because if you want to be picking this trade in the middle, you'll be wasting your money. This is 123. So this is 123. I expect that price we retest at 1.07158. And if that is done, maybe it's going to finish that wave there. And and I will tell myself that for now, let me put a stop loss. It's going to be like a tight stop loss, really. It's going to be like a tight stop loss, really, just below here from the extension tools that I expect. You can even make it like 30 pips below here. 30 pips below here. So what I'm telling myself is that if this one is going to hold as B, if this one is going to hold as B, if this level will hold price as B, I need to see what price action is going to give me exactly here. It has violated this place. This is where I need price action. I think what I gave us, where I gave us is at around this area, probably just a bit above it because of the spread. I gave us an entry a bit above this. So that is what I expect. And where, if that works out, we are telling ourselves that if that is because it had violated this, and now we are going to 123, if that holds, then can we now have, is it a running flat up, an extended expanded flat up that we're going to have? Definitely, it cannot be a regular flat, and it cannot be a zigzag from what we can see here. So in that case, if I'm going to project, so that if that is going to happen, and price is going to do this, this will be the origin of B and the end of B. So I will now tell myself maybe C at 61.8 or at 100, which is here, or at most here. So now let me do something to now tell us where I want to take TP if that happens. What do I use now? I've used almost, okay, let me now use blue. I've never used blue. So I will now tell myself that this might be the first TP that I'm looking like that. And the second TP, of course, will be here around this area. I can select anywhere around this area. And the last TP will be at 123 if it's going to be an extended flat or expanded flat, which is here. And I will now tell myself that if I do that, where my last stop loss will be, because I will be looking for a sell here too. Once I TP, I'll be looking for a sell. I can put my stop loss somewhere here. If price took TP here, then I want to sell with 5 proper from here. So with 5 proper, we'll start from around, which is 12,877. If that is going to work out. So I'm telling myself, but immediately this level of 1.07158 is violated, then I will tell myself that place is not going to hold, and I might have to close my trade within a very short piece, close my trade, and Now go and pitch my tent at where I expect C to actually, wave 3 to actually terminate, which will now be here, which is here. This is at 261.8 that I told you the other time. So price is closed there. So if there is no reaction here and this is violated, then I know price is not going to even stop here. No, price will come here to give me a reaction. And if that happens, then we're going to now begin to see wave 4 here, run the last leg and come down. But what I'm seeing already in the making is looking like, yes, as it's unfolding here, we're trying to also do wave 4. And I think it might just hold here or extend it a bit. They might extend it a bit to get to this place, to finish off this one. But looking at this correction, I've not seen what looks like what an ending diagonal, like we saw it here, and we saw it here. These are ending diagonals here. And I need to see something like this also here. This is not an ending diagonal. So for me, this price may just go up here. Take this as the last leg of 4 of the real 4. So the real 4 is in the making. If that is the last leg of the real 4 in the making, to the upside, that would now end the real 4, and it will now start 5 from here. So, or from here. 5 may start from here or from here, and they will now take it the last 5 down, do a 5-way structure of 5 to end at below 100 here, which is let's see. Yeah, which is below here, which is below here. So they might terminate 5 here. It's possible if they do a push-up from here to start to end 3 here at this level of B. B ends here. It might be the end of that wave, just like we saw around this area for this one also. When A went up, B came down, and the C, and they did this. So if this one is the beginning of A like this, that we had here, A here, and this one will stop at C, at B here, C may come up here or here, then that will now finish bigger what? Bigger wave for 4, and they will now take this one down to finish 5 here. So which means that 5 may still stall at 100, or otherwise it's going to go below here, which means they are going to finish the leg of internal structure of wave B, wave 3 here. But it doesn't look like that to me now. It doesn't look like that. I think the best place where 3 can finish is at 200, which is here, not at this last couple of 3 to 3.6. It's not. It doesn't look like that. So it's going to end here. So if it's end around this area, they take it up. They will end it around this area and probably finish up 5 here. It might be truncated here, the last 5, or they might push that. So we need to see how structure behave around this green. This green is 100 extension of AB, and the last green here on the weekly. So, and this one is 123 extension of AB. So price may do this or not. And if price would do that, that is 0.963. So it depends on the internal structure. So, but price for now is looking like depending on the reaction of C. If that is C, price may just give me a reaction here to set wave 5 in motion. They will now begin to follow the internal structure of wave 5. So I would expect something like this as B, and this is coming down like this. I will expect that for here, a reaction to take this one up, and we now begin with 5 proper to the downside. But if it does not react at this yellow, we expect reaction at this purple to finish with 4 and to start with 5 proper. So we are approaching the end of Euro USD, and the same thing is going to play out on DXY. So this for that Euro USD. So we need to see that ending diagonal. So what we are telling ourselves, 2 possibilities here. We may buy from here to finish C, or we may violate this, and if we violate this, we are going to that purple to start that leg up. And once we finish C, but it won't make sense to me anymore in terms of fib retracement, because even if you have said that this one is the first correction, and this is what A, B, or you say this is A, this is B, and this is C, and this is X, then how do you label this? It does not make any sense to me. I think this is just a part of correction of the O, just like they have a way, a knack of confusing you by doing something complex like this. And I believe that is what they have done here to complicate issues here. Because if you take this one as the first A and B, the fib analysis here does not agree with ABC correction and taking it up here. They are doing the same thing on USD CAD. So it does not correlate to me. So entirely, you have to take this one as what? As A, and that your B 123, and you're not going to lose much. Once we see the price action that it does not, correlate, then we just close. We close within few pips, and it's better. Then we now go to that purple and wait for it. That's all. That's all. And if you now switch to 4-hour correction, so you now begin to see more. That's what. So how do you trade this one? You just waste your money, and it went on for about 8 weeks, or thereabout. It's going to waste your money. So this, looking at the internal structure of this B wave, B wave might be same, may seem to me like, okay, the first, like a 2, it's not, it doesn't really work like that. Like a 2, maybe seen like a 4, and this the things that also confuse you to think like, okay, maybe they are ending here. You see this sharp, I actually didn't buy from here. I put it down because I had to look at this wave, and that's how to trade, please. Those who are watching, because we are expecting a buy, and it's not going to be, I'm not interested in a short buy like this. And these are to fool you, and you would have seen this move here, and this here as what as a morning star that they are going up from here. But because it didn't really agree with fib retracement, of course, it may have agreed with this as being an 100 at first, because if this one moved up like this, and this is an 100, is there any place that you think B wave is 100? No. So as it cannot work like that too. When it's not night and it's not 123, you don't want to trade it. And it's not 61.8. It's not in between 61.8, 76, and 85, and it did 100. Voila, day. You know, you don't want to trade here. That's just the thing. You don't want to trade and you don't want to buy from here. You go to 123 and wait for the price here. Maybe allow little for what? For spread. And if the price, I expect that this price will burn off here and they will reverse to C to finish leg C. If it does not work like that, Yamutu, just leave. And if this is coming, we are going to now see that probably if this one finishes, we're going to see where leg C will get to, and we're going to start with 4 from there. So we are almost finishing 3 of 5. That is what I can say here. Now, in that same, I might just have to do just one CHF. Let me go to CHF. Let me go to the yen plus CHF. CHF JPY. CHF JPY. The same way, if you're looking at this, thereby, if you are approaching your wave and you are doing analysis on and that's what we want to do first on the lower time from the smaller time frame to do trades, thereby. So now, this is the monthly time frame for this wave. And this is CHF JPY that we are currently on. So you can count all this structure yourself. I am not interested. I've taught you on Euro USD how to count this structure to know if it's ABC corrections. Now, fine. So what we are seeing here now is after this move, we have this correction here, and this move, this is the correction. This is A and this is B. So we are thinking that C is going to run down. So that's where I'm going to start. I don't have time for, you can go and do all that yourself, or see me privately if you're still confused. I can't be doing that here now. So from here, to here. So we are telling ourselves that this is what A, and this is like a B. That's what we're telling ourselves. You may think that this is A and a B. That is what we thought. That is what we thought, but eventually they have changed it. I know that they have changed it. Where the correct one is, this is A. After this move, this is A wave, and the entire of this one is a B wave. Oh my God. They can kill somebody. They can kill what? Somebody. So if it's this is a B, we are telling ourselves, how come this is, I will tell you that it's a B. So if it is a B, so if this is a B, 61 has been violated, 76 has been violated, and 85.4 has been violated. The price is at 90. So the price is at 90 at the moment. You can see the price is at 90. So if that price is at 90, that place must not be violated. That is what we are telling ourselves. That place must not be violated. Once it's violated, then this price should not violate this. Once that place is violated, even by a price at 1 hour price action, they may send wick across, it doesn't really matter, but I think that place should hold. So once that 90 is violated, where next do you think it's going? Because it's B wave. It's going to 123, and that is huge. 123 is far above the principalities and power. So, but the internal structure also will help us to know if that is going to happen or whatever we can see. Can I even see 123? Yeah, deep gone. Oh, deep gone. Oh, deep gone. Oh, tell you, paper. 123. Can you see? Can you see? If you zoom and zoom and zoom in, it won't come out. It won't come up. So for now, of course, what we are telling ourselves is that this is the last we can have here. Just let me tell you. So if it's going to do more and it's violated, then it's going to 123, and that is a long thing, though. So it's going to break the top. So this is the place it mustn't break. Once it breaks this place, it's going to break the top. So what we are telling ourselves is that this is at about 130, around 135, 600. So if you put it at 135, 700 or 750 or 650, you are still okay at your stop loss because we entered somewhere around here. So for me, this is A. This is A for me. And for me, this is a B. So we want to sell a C. That's just the difference here now. So this is a B. Let me just put it somewhere here. So we want to sell a C. We want to sell a C. We want to sell a C, okay? That is what we want to sell a C. So we can't project a C until we see the end of A, B. We cannot project until C. Yeah. But one thing you can still do here is to now begin to look at the internal structure here. What is this stupid thing that we are seeing in the middle, which wasted people's money? This stupid thing we are seeing in the middle. So let me change to purple because I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle now. So let me change to purple. Good. So now, this is monthly time frame. This is why it's difficult for you to draw a trend. You want to draw a trend here, and after you draw a trend, they change it, and you think they are going down. You draw another trend, they change it. You are confused. The trend may have worked for this one because it's a simple move down, but here you are losing money because you think trend is your friend. Wave is your friend and structure. So, not until we begin to see here. Now, for me, this is wave one, and this is wave two of the bigger, in the bigger time frame. Wave one and wave two. Wave one, I'm not just picking and labeling them as wave one or wave two without counting the internal and the field retracements. That's wave two. That's wave two. That is wave two. How do I know? So let's look at the field retracement of that to two. From the origin of one to the end of one. So that's about 76.4. So that makes it wave two. The entire thing is wave two here, which probably, unfortunately, you didn't see. Now, if we now expand this wave, we are seeing that these had gone up, and this is one of one, two of one, and a three of one, and a four of one, and five appears to have been truncated here. Can you see? Five didn't go up, it formed a double top. So that's how you see stupidity when they do it. 1, 2, 3 to this top, 4 here, and they truncated 5 here. And after truncating 5, they did ABC correction, which is A, B, and C, and they moved to wave 3. So this is wave 3 here. This is wave 3 here. This is wave 3 here. So where are we on wave 3? Is another thing entirely. Where are we on wave 3? I'm just putting this one as 3.5. I'm not sure if we are on 3.5. We are looking at it together. Now, this may have confused you because it's really sharp. but it does not matter because they are doing correction. The way they did here, they can do anything to finish anybody. So this is 3. We are going to look at the internal structure of 3. Now, in the internal structure of 3, they may have thrown this wick down to punish anybody when they were doing 2 here. So, and how many pips was that? To this point, that's about 63 pips. Oh my God. About 63 pips. How would you survive that? Who would survive it? Who would have survived it itself? So, because looking at the internal structure of 3 now, and the same thing they are doing up now. So let's use black for the internal structure of 3 here. Actually, this is 3. I can tell you. As a matter of fact, that's 3. That's the internal structure of 3. That is where 3 started from. And this is 1 of 3. And that is 2 of 3 here. That's 2 of 3. I'm not just putting these black lines, please. I'm not just putting this black line, please. So I'm not just putting the black line, please. So now, so I said they just use this to make sure that people waste money. How many pips? Let's see again. Because when you're looking at the time frame, it's not easy to really see how many pips. Okay, how many pips below it? Oh, it's actually 41.9. So if you had actually put your stop loss 50 below, 50 pips below, so you wouldn't have lost 18 really. 50 pips below that, you wouldn't have lost it. So not up to 60 something. So now, does it agree with it? Does it agree from here to 1? Okay, that's a bit up for 1, where it's still at 76.4. So which agrees with 2? With 2, it agrees with 2. So we can tell ourselves that in the internal structure of this wave, this is actually a 3-1, a 3-1, this is a 3-1. So when you see this 90 here, this is where price, anything more than this, we are out of this trade. Anything more than where the price is, we are out. Except we now finish their correction and we are now able to see. So we are just projecting that. So this is 3-1, and it said 3-1, and so we have 3-2, 3-2. Now, for us to have 3-3, we have told ourselves also that there are agreements we must have for wave 3 to hold. So from 1 of 3 to the end of it, origin to end of it, back to 2 of it. So we want to see of 161. Let me now use something to demarcate that, to tell us what we have done. Okay, so we said it cannot be shorter than 161.8, which is 161.8. So which is 161.8 for 3, at least where we expect 3.5 to have ended. So that's 161.8. And so this qualifies that we are on 3. Have we ended it? This is 200. Now, if that is the 200 for it, do you understand? That's 200 for each, which may have ended it. And this is 261. Now, This one cannot be, because there's nothing like above 261.8 that gave me a recipe for 4. There's something like that that gave me a recipe for 4. And this is the last place you want it to be, which is 323.6, but with 3. And there's no recipe for that 4. Above 200, there's no recipe from 200. Yes, above 200, there's no recipe for what I look at as with 4. So it means to me that with 3.5 may have ended around 200 retracement. So for me, I think we are on wave 5. So we are on wave 5. We're going to see, because this is just what they do. Look at the way they did their 1 here. Can you see how long this one is? Does it agree with 3? Normally you expect that 3 will be. Can you see this one? Because it's a correction, they just do it anyhow. And if you look at it from 1 here to here, it agrees with field retracement analysis. But from here, you see your 3 and your 4, and they truncated this one, and they are doing this one. They're so stupid. But eventually, by the time you look at, oh, what is 1 to 2, it will agree with it. Okay, let me put this one down a bit. This is where it is. When you, yeah, that's where it is. So everything else. Okay. So if you look at here from here to here, yeah, we now know that this one is passed with 3. It's passed with 3. So if you look at this one here, this is 1 and this is 2. Does it agree with it in terms of field retracement? Yeah, this is 50. And you see, that's 50. And it's almost at, so once it touches 50, it agrees with it. Then in terms of the entire run, does it agree with it? Let's see. If it agrees with it in terms of the entire run, from here to, I think I did that. From here to, yeah. From this entire run, yeah, it agrees with it. So you can see what they are doing. It agrees with it in the entire run. So, and the correction. So this is 3. So now, from here to here, this is 2. This is 1, 3, 1, 3, 2. This is 3, 3. This is 4, 3, 4. And as far as I'm concerned, this is 3, 5. So 3, 5 ended here. As far as I'm concerned, 3, 5 ended. Okay, I didn't give it 3, 3. This is 3, 3. This is 3, 3 here. I didn't give it 3, 3. This is 3, 3. This is 3, 3. This is 3, 3 here. That's 3, 3, then 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4 ended somewhere here. That's still within 3. So that's still within 3. It won't violate anything. So that's still within 3. So you can begin to look at one that it violates 1 because it's still within 3. So it is 4 proper that should not violate 1. So, and we now go to 3, 5, which is the last one, which is an ending diagonal. So this is where ending diagonal is. And that is the only ending diagonal I can see for this wave. So this is wave 3, 5. That completes 3. And our 4, the 4th wave is this. These are fourth wave, which is here, which is here, our fourth wave. These are fourth wave here. So that's our fourth wave here. That is our fourth wave. So, and wave 5 we began here. So this is 1 of 5, 2 of 5, and this is like 3 of 5, and this is 4 of 5, and we are seeing the end of 5 of 5 here. So that is what I can see now. That is what I can see, breaking it down. So at the same time, if we want to look at the entire wave 4, we don't expect it to run more than 161.8. From here. So I think about the place now. So roughly, so, and this is like with 5, as far as I'm concerned. Now looking at the internal structure of this one, because with 5, not until you now begin to go down on the lower time frame, you won't see the internal structure, which is expected. It's only with 3 that you will see the internal structure clearly on the higher time frame. You can see it, you can see now very clearly. So this is wave 5. So if I go to weekly now, we have to see how these things are forming. Very important. We have to see how they are forming. We have to see how they are forming. So we said from here 1, and this is 2. After this move here, they did this one as A, and this one as B, and a C. That's how to really count it. You must know how to count it, you know, because they came down here, did some correction, and they moved from here. Is the entire run from here is A to B and to C. So for me, this is like a flat, a regular flat. This is like a regular flat where you have your A here and your B, the origin of your B. This is where your B, you know, stop. A B, and a C. That's like a regular flat. So if I pick this to this level, so there's a 90. Exactly a 90 is here. And you see, it's a regular flat. That's exactly a 90. So from here down to the tip of this wick, a 90 is here. So that extension, what does it give us in an extension? That extension to this place, then back to 90, you know, this is like 100, you know, or about 100 or 123. Let me see. Okay. From here, that's where I started from, origin of it, to this place, then back to this. Yeah, about 123. So that's about 123 in terms of extension. So it's correct here for this is a regular flat. Then we have this also in the middle. We said that this is what with 3 in the middle, so 3 of 1, 3 of 2. Then we now have a 3 of 3 here, a 4, and this is where it got a bit messy at first when we're counting. We said this one is what? A 3 or 3, a 5, a 4 is still correct, but it has changed it slightly for us. Looking at the extension 2, it has changed it slightly for us. These are just a middle correction here, sideways correction before the finish of this. Okay, it's still correct anyway, because even 3 of 3 is a 5 wave. That's what the one thing you have to know. It's still correct, yes. It's still correct. 3 of 3 is a long wave, is a 5 wave structure. It's going to be a 5 wave structure. So where you see 3 of 3, 1, like I counted the same thing way I counted for Euro USD. 1 of it, and this is, I mean, sorry, a 1 of it, a 2 of it, and a 4 of it, of that 3 of 3, and a 5 of it, before we now give to 4 of 3, and we now finish up with what? With a 5 of 3, so which is correct. A 5 of 3, of course, we expect that also to be like 5 wave structure, 5 of 3 to be a 5 wave structure. So from here, 1 and 2, and a 3 of it, and a 4 of it, and a 5 of it, which completes it. So it's going to be like anything that is 1 will be a 5 wave, 3 will be a 5 wave, and 5 will be a 5 wave. That is how to quickly spot it, really. So like after a 4 is a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. Then you now have a correct ABC correction. So after this ABC correction, so you have 1 and 2 and a C before we have this move. So at the beginning here is wave 5. Okay, so wave 5, 1 will start here at the low of this. Let me begin to use this now. Let me begin to use this one for 5. So that's the origin of 5, which is the last wave, and this is end of 5-1, and this is 5-2. This is 5-2 here. That is 5-2 here. That's all we can see. That's the 5-2 here. Because 1 has to move up, 2 has to correct it. And what has that given us? Let's see. What has it given us? Yes, exactly 85. So that's given us 85. So we have a correction, then we are going to 3. So what has 3 given us? That's 5 of 3. What has 5 of 3 given us? I'm trying to be as fast as possible now. 5 of 3 from here to here to here. So this is at 200. This one is at actually is at 261. So 5 of 3 got to 261. So it got at to 261 really. That's where 261 is. Yeah, 261 before you now ended that 3. So it has 261. It didn't get to yeah. Did you say it's even got to between 261 and 323? And 323 really. This is 323. So we'll see. By the time I look at the lower time frame, I will see. So 5 of 3 ended here. So if this is 5 of 3 and this is 4 of 3 and this is 5 of 3, this is 5 of 5 now. So that's the way it's looking like. So if I want to pin it down, and I will say this is 5-1, 5-1. What are we talking about? What is this one doing? This is 5-1, is 5-1. And we have 5-2. Whatever analysis that we do, once it's violated, we go back to it. 5-3. 5-3. We said 5-3, it's around this place. That is what I can see. 5-3 is around this place. And so our 5-4 our 5-4 our 5-4 and our 5-4 around this place, and our 5-5 so anything more than this from the higher time frame, this is 90 up here. So this is where a B should end. Anything more than this will say that this might still be looking like an ending diagonal to us. So where they are going to correct and to begin to fall sharp down. So, but if you now go to the internal structure, looking at it on the lower time frame now, let's go to the daily to see if you can see anything better. Yes. So we have told ourselves that from what we can see here, to correction, when you switch, you'll see all those things better here. So this is where 5 has ended, and this is 5-1 here. But 5-1 even went a bit upper than I thought, switching here. So that's 5-1. So you can see it's better now. Then 5-2 actually got a bit okay. So like this is where I started from, and this one I'll say got a bit to this side. So if you look at this now, exactly, that's 76.4, which is correct for 5-2. Is correct for 5-2 here. Then if we now, what we did the other time would change a bit, because okay, I can see that. So this is here is 5-3. Here is 5-3. That's 5-3. The internal structure of 5-3. So, but when you are not counting the internal structure of 5-3, we are going to probably take it up to this point. So this is where 5-3 will end now. Here, 5-3 will end here. So why? Because this is 5-3 of 3, 5-3 of 4. So this is 5-1, 5-2. Then after you start 5-2, you are going to stand the internal structure of 5 itself, 5-3 itself. This is 5-3, it ended here. So the internal structure must be 5 waves. It must be 5 waves. You know, 1 also is 5 waves. If you want to look at it from here, it is 5 waves. If you look at it, it is 5 waves here.
which is just following with this 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and down here you now begin to go. So the entire structure of 5-3, if this one is 5-2 down here, and 5-3 start from immediately here. So you can see that this is 1 and this is 2 of it, of the 5-3, and this is like 3 of it, and this is like 4 of it, and this is like 5 of it, and this is like the entire, after finishing 5, this is like 4, 5, 4, and the last wave, which is 5, 5, which will be an ending diagonal. So the last wave also is 5, 5, which should be an ending diagonal. So this wave, it's about its end. Are we likely going to have another push-up if I look at this one? Price came down. If this one is 1 and this one is 2 for 5, 1 for 5, the last wave of 5, this is 2 of it, and this is 3 of it, this is 4 of it, this is like 5 of it. So let's see what plays out here. But what gives me more hope, because looking at the internal structure at time, this is looking like an ending diagonal. This is looking like an ending diagonal. This is looking like an ending diagonal here. So this is looking like an ending diagonal here to me. So, and let's see what happens. We need this to fall below here. So are we seeing some corrections here? Are we seeing some corrections here? That has changed some pictures now, because when we thought we did an A correction and a B correction, it's not what we thought. Yeah, because if this has been an A correction and a B correction, then you don't expect B. So before we were thinking that this is an A correction and this is a B correction. This is not a B correction. Actually, it's the end of wave 5. Anything more than this, it's something else. So, but this is a place that price must not violate. We must not see price action to tell us that price is going to go further here. That is what I can just say. So price may go up, crawl up here to give us a double top pattern, or at least stop within what? Within 81.85.4 for wave 2 of that wave 1 that is going to come down. And that is what I think I can expect. But anything more than that will close. At the moment, if we had said that this one is A, the entire run from here is A. After wave B, wave 5 ended here. This is 5 of 5. Yes. Yes, that is wave 3, 5, 3 of 5. Yes. The 5 of 5, 3 ended here. So if I say that this is the correction A and a B wave, I think this correction is just in the middle here, because the entire B wave shouldn't have just given us this, because this is more than 61, 123. So let's look at it. That's where it gets tricky. Can you see? So this is wave 5. It's wave 5, the last wave, which is at 161.8. So it's like wave 5 of it, that's at 161. Because if it has been a B should have ended stored around somewhere here. Well, as you can see my hand here. This is where it would have stored. But for it to have violated this place means that it's not a correction that we are seeing here. It's actually the end of wave 5. it is 5 or 5 that we are saying here. That's the way it looks to me. Anything more than this is going to violate the old structure on a bigger time frame. It's going to violate the old structure on a bigger time frame. Anything more than that. This is the bigger time frame. So it's going to violate this structure. I don't expect this structure to be more than this. I don't even expect a week to go past it. I don't expect a week to go past it. Anything more than that, it's violate. That means it's going to go past this and give us a 123. And that will be a whole lot. You know, that would be a whole lot. So we'll wait to see. Once it violates this week, then we'll look at the count again and see. So for now, where it's safe for us, and if it's going to go beyond it than 203, unfortunately, I can't see that. I can't even get to count it. Can I count it? Okay, I think I should be able to count this one. It's not giving me stuff. Can you see? It's off the field. It's off the field. It's off the field. Because 123 of the entire A is inside there. It's inside there. So I can't even see it. I can't see it. You can see at 1.11 cell. That's how many pips. So this place, it's over 700 pips. I can't see that. I can't see that. So that is for you. That is check JPY. Can I take a look at one more? Okay, if you look at check JPY, let's look at yen, pound yen. Pound yen is similar to check JPY, except that you know this one is pound yen is similar. You can see. Yeah, this is pound yen. Pound yen is similar, really. Pound yen is similar. It's similar. After this one, and this is an ending diagonal. See the way they usually do ending diagonal at times. After they did this one with 4, with 5, they didn't even go beyond this with 4, the entire run of 3. So this is an ending diagonal. So at times you'll be projecting below it. So they truncated it. So, and after that, they make this move. And this is, after this move, this is A and this is B again to me. This is A and this is B again to me. But in this kind of a scenario, there is a difference. There's a difference in this. There's a difference. It's tricky though. It's tricky. I'm not going to be counting the entire structure of this one. You can do that on your own. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. So now with these, you can also look at this as A and look at this as a B. And this is a C of a smaller correction. But on the bigger part, this is like an A of this, a B. So if you are looking at this on a smaller time correction, if you are looking at it on a smaller time frame now, this is an A and this is a B and this is a C. So you don't expect your C to be more than 161.8. if that is going to make it, but definitely it cannot be an expanded flat anyway. It cannot be an expanded flat. That's just the thing. Because if this is A and this is, you can't get an 100 for B. There are things you will just know. You can't get an 100 for B. So you can't, this wave, there's no wave like a B wave here, because this is like at the same, almost the same level. So almost the same level. So this entire wave is like a B wave, not that this is A and this is B. It won't be correct to say that. So these are the knowledge that we have on Elliott and collective wave pattern will tell us that this cannot be a B wave. If this one is an A, this level cannot be a B wave. So this, all of this up to this one, it's a single wave. So this one is A and this one is B. So that is how to take this with what I've shown you. So if this one is an A wave, so I'm just going to mind this as an A wave and this as a B wave. This is an A wave. You are going to see to the internal structure yourself. As I told you, you're going to see to the internal structure yourself. If it's A wave, then we are in B wave. B wave. We are doing B wave now. That is what I can see. We are doing B wave. Where can this B wave get to? What can it be? At this level, it can be a zigzag. It can be a running flat. Then definitely not what looks like an expanded flat or a running flat or a running flat. So a regular flat and a zigzag is what we can see this one to be. And see this one to be. So if we take our fib extension, that will make it either a regular or whatever. So if it's going to be a regular flat, sorry, if it's going to be a zigzag, so zigzag of this entire wave, of this, the whole entire wave, a zigzag of it will be at these levels. Here is the first level where the price is almost getting to, which is at here is the first level, which is not unlikely. You might be seeing reactions at 60. That's about 168. At about 168, we might be seeing reaction at 168. Then the next level it can be is at 179, which I doubt much, but you can't say never. Then the next level that will still make it a zigzag will be at 185, which I still doubt. And the last level that will make it a regular flat is at 188.759. So what if I change that color there? What if I change that color there? That is the last phase I would expect this to get to. Otherwise, it's going to be an expanded flat or flat. But at the moment, yen itself, pound itself, does it have that? Counting the internal structures would help. So at the moment, I see more of these at 168, or also have a price action to the downside for this. So you can count the internal structure yourself. But once this one is violated, the next place you'll see is here at 76 or 85 or at 90. This is the last place it can be. So we'll begin to see how it will unfold. And you're going to now have a C wave down. A C wave down. So most of the time it's better to understand this correction on the higher time frame to see if the level you think you want to sell or trade is violated, you exit it. Don't hope. There's no point hoping because that is it means it's been violated. So there is no point. Now looking at the internal structure of this wave here, this is also part of the correction. So you can't say this is A and this is B and this is C. No, it's wrong. Like I told you, you can't see your A to come to this level. So this is the beginning of the wave here. So if that's the beginning of the wave here, so we can see this one as a wave 1 and a wave 2 and a wave 3 in the making here, and this is like a wave 4 and this is like a wave 5 to me. That is what I can see. If I want to quickly do that, by using my purple, I'm giving us too much today. But I've been awake since. So now with that, where do we expect wave 3? Like I told us, if that is a wave 1 and wave 2, where do we expect our wave 3? I'm going to look at those levels that we expect wave 3. Wave 3 at this must be at 161. So if wave 3 must be at 161, then this looks as if this is wave 1 and this is wave 2 in truth, and not like wave 1 from here to wave 2 from here. If it is from here to here, is what we are looking at, and with 1 ends here, it means that we should expect wave 3 to have ended at 161 of a truth here. Wave 3 should have ended here. Let me change that color. So wave 3 should end in that place. Then it means that if this is level of what we are looking at now, so where we said 61.8, so this is where probably the entire wave may just parquet. The entire wave may just parquet here, which is at that level. This is where we think the entire wave may just parquet around that place. Around that place. So wave 3 could only be done here. That's the minimum, where this yellow line is minimum. So is that what we have on the lower time frame? Let's quickly switch to the lower time frame. So this thing looks like wave 1 and 2 of 1, 2 of 1, 3 of 1, 4 of 1, and 5 of 1. So this thing look okay for wave 1. Is it correct in terms of fib retracement for wave 1? Yeah, it may. If we drag this down here, yeah, may. Okay, no. It's for 1 of 1. If this one is 1 of 1, if that is 1 of 1 and 2 of 1, okay, that is still correct for that. And the entire 1 to 2 is still in order. Entire 1 to 2 is still at 50, which is good. Okay, for the fraction 1, is correct for it, but the entire one to this is 50 is still correct for with 2 at this level, with 2 for this at this level. And so this is with 3. So the internal structure of 3 is what we are seeing, and a 3 of 3, and a 4 and a 5, and we had this, and this is looks like an entire 4, and looks like we seeing with 5. We're going to see. I'm going to see. I'm going to see. I think by and large, we should expect reaction around these levels. We should expect reactions around those levels. That's where to expect reactions. Anything more than that, we might have to wait. So we should expect reactions between these two levels here, which is 167.39, 319, and 168. That's where we should expect reaction. And if you didn't get reaction here, we are going as far as 178. We are going to go as far as 178. It's not impossible, but it's not like a flat. It's going to be like a zigzag. That's over 1,000. I don't know about that, but so far it still looks as if we have ended with 3 somewhere here. Somewhere here, very close to it. That's what it looks like. With 3 ended here, and with 4 ended here. With 4 ended here. With 3 of 5 of 4 of 3 ended here. 4 of 3 ended in that place. So you now had a truncated 5 is 5 of 3. 5 of 3, a truncated 5, and a 4. And a 4 and a 5. That's what it's looking like. So it's looking like so much we are doing with 5 at the moment, and we are finishing it. So let's see if we get reaction here. If we get reaction here, that ends it, and the price is going to come to the downside. But if this one is validated, this is the next place we should look for price action. So if anybody wants to actually sell this, you should be looking for a sell around this area, because this is not with at this level. If you say this is A and this is B and this is C, this cannot be a B, which is at 100. So it cannot be a B. So it's still part of correction here. So, and this is going up here. After this move, this is 5 and the truncation. So you can see this one is what like A. So this one is not a B. So this one is still part of 5. So it's looking like that at the moment that we're going to see this one run and finish off. Let's look at it on the smaller time frame. Yeah. So it's still giving us something close to an ending diagonal. So let's see the way it's going to burn off. It's going to waddle to the sides and burn off to give us. So this move here to this here is not, if you think that this one is an A move after the end of 5, maybe 5, this is 3 of 5 may have ended here. 3 of that 5, the intensity of 3 of 5 or 5 of 3 and 4 of it and going to 5. This should be the last leg, really running like a 5-wave structure. This looks so much like a 5-wave structure here. So that is what I think. And the last one I want to quickly see is USD JPY. I'm rushing now. If you look at it, it's the same structure, it's something similar. for all these ones, something similar, something very similar. Something similar. In my network is failing me, so I may have to put an end to this now. I may have to put an end to this. I may have to put an end to this. My network is actually failing me. Yes, it's failing me. It's failing me. So let's watch this video.